Hola.
Contanos.
Bueno, vamos a decir algo muy importante. Muy importante. ¿Saben por qué la cerveza Guinness tiene el color que tiene?
¿Por qué, Mile?
Por el agua del arroyo. Porque mira el color.
Es el agua, arroyo es
El mismo río que cruza la ciudad de Dublin, la ciudad de Dublin, y que el río se llama... ¿Cómo era que se llamaba el río?
No me acuerdo,
Bueno,
pero quería ver,
el mismo color.
no me dejaste. Miras a la ventana para ver el río.
Bueno, ese mismo río que...
Miren todas las cervezas Guinness que está corriendo por ahí.
Es cerveza, chicos, vengan a tomar. It's free.
Lo que pasa es que... Es cierto, es la misma, el mismo color.
In the afternoon, we will be making our last stop by that river. We will have travelled quite a distance. In fact, it will be at another point where two rivers join together.
Okay.
For the poet Thomas Moore, picked the example of two rivers joining like two parts becoming one. And he simply called it the meeting of the waters. One of the rivers is that little river there. Later it's known as the Avonbeg River, Avon Bialco River. Down here on the right-hand side is the lake where Paul McCartney and his fellow Beatles stayed in a house with Gareth Brown for a couple of weeks relaxing. Paul McCartney was here last year, as was Michael Jackson, as was Mick Jagger, as was lots of those wrinkly old rockers of old. Do we have any Beatle fans with us today? Was it 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ago they relaunched some of the albums of the Beatles, and it was ironic that the best-selling album ever in history was once again the best-selling album. It's called the Sgt. Pepper Lonely Heart Band album. There's a track on that album written by John Lennon about his friend. His friend was known as the Honourable Tara Brown, a brother of the man who lives here. Tara Brown was born here, but lived in London as a socialite in the 1960s, but sadly was killed in a car crash late one night after a party. John Lennon immortalised it by writing a tune about it, and it's included on the Sgt. Pepper Lonely Heart Band album. That tune was banned from playing by BBC Radio because it made a reference to taking drugs. There was a belief back then, if you didn't speak about a problem, nobody would ever find out about it. Now, how silly was that? But that's the way it was. Tara Brown's body was taken back by his brother and buried here by the lake. The house is a stunningly beautiful house in the most amazing situation here in a valley called Lugala.
Este era el Lugala Valley.
As I said, 1 year ago tomorrow, I turned this corner, I started to climb this hill, and suddenly I got to this junction here, or this corner here, and the wheels on the bus wouldn't go round and round. And it was here we remained for 5.5 hours. There's been so much rain recently, there's normally a white band of sand here on the beach. And when you look down, it looks like the biggest pint of Guinness ever made. The Guinness family own this estate and have done since 1937. We're going to climb just a little higher, and we're going to get out to get some pictures
Okay.
of Lugala.
Of Lugala. Lugala. Ciao, Mille, ciao, Mille.